super great move because we got to be honest, the Knicks have lost playoff series and key regular season games, not because our starters weren't good enough, but because the other team's bench caught fire. Whether it was TJ McConnell shredding the second unit with relentless energy and mid-range buckets, or if it was Pritchard hitting timely threes, pushing a tempo like he's a caffeinated Steve Nash, or even Nas Reed dropping 20 points in under 20 minutes like he's a 2K cheat code. It always felt like the Knicks constantly got torched by the kind of role players who become legends for a week. Shout out to Jerry Minion. So into Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson isn't just a microwave scorer, one that we need. He's a full-on double oven with flames on him. He's a 4x6 man of the year. The man's career average is about 15.5 points a game. And I love his reputation. The man has a reputation for creating his own shot from anywhere on the court. But more than that, he's fearless. And that's something that we've always needed off of the bench. Because in previous years, the Knicks have leaned on the bench players who were either high energy guys, like Josh Hart, or defensive grinders like Deuce. But when it came to that pure offensive punch, especially in the playoffs, we've often had to overextend our starters or pray that someone like Emmanuel Quickly, when he was with us, could get hot. And when he didn't, first round exit. So Clarkson instantly solves that for us. That man could come in, he's going to come in and swing quarters. He'll stop the bleeding when the starters are sitting. He'll win games in February with a 30-piece when the legs are tired and the stars are saving themselves. That's what dominant teams have. That's the value of picking up a player like him. Because if we talk about the importance of a McConnell, a Pritchard, or a Nas for their teams, to understand his importance, we don't got to look any further than those three. And the torture they brought to Knicks fans. TJ McConnell alone made life hell for Jalen Brunson in the Eastern Conference Finals. His full court pressure, sneaky scoring, that leadership off the bench flipped the entire series. When Brunson sat, McConnell turned the Knicks' lead into Pacers runs. Peyton Pritchard was the exact kind of pest that the Celtics needed. In limited minutes, he would hit clutch corner threes or grab a momentum-shifting rebound. And he'd do it with swagger, making it sting even more. But let's talk about Nas Reed. He's haunted the Knicks in the regular season. Every time Karl-Anthony Towns sat, felt like Nas Reed turned into Kevin Durant with that step-back three. His ability to dominate second units was a major reason why Minnesota had one of the deepest front courts in basketball. And that's what we need. We need players to dominate the second units. Those are the kind of guys who don't get game planned for, but end up deciding the game. The Knicks now finally have one of those guys in Clarkson. And that type of player can take us from a good team to a dominant team. The Knicks we were respected before. We were feared in spurts, but if Jordan plays up to his usual level and Mike Brown trusts him with a 25-28 minutes a night, then the Knicks can become consistently dominant, not just scrappy. Here's what changes. We don't pace when Brunson sits. We don't have to worry about coming back from deficits, three-pointers from guys who can't create their own shot. We have a bench scorer who now is playoff tested and can handle pressure moments. That's how you beat teams like Boston. That's how you beat teams like Milwaukee or Indiana in a 7-game series. Not just with stars, but with weaponized depth. Because there are three traits of dominant teams. And the Knicks, we may be on our way to having them. First is multiple shot creators. Dominant teams can create good shots in the half court, even when defenses tighten up in the playoffs. Do the Knicks have it? We do now. Because between Brunson, Jordan Clarkson, and Karl-Anthony Towns, we now have three players who can score at all three levels and then create off the bounce. Throw in McCall Bridges, throw in OG Anunoby as secondary options, and now you've got a versatile offense. The next point, do we have a defensive identity? The best teams impose their will on defense. Think Boston switching, Miami's grit, Milwaukee's rim protection. Do the Knicks have that? Yes, we do. With Anunoby, Mitch Robb, Josh Hart, McCall Bridges, this team can lock you down on the perimeter, crash the boards, and make life miserable. We switch, we rotate, we hustle like maniacs. And do we have trustworthy depth? Now we do. Injuries happen, slumps happen. So you need guys off the bench who can step in and swing games, especially in the playoffs. That's why it was important to get Clarkson. Yes, now we have that play. He brings reliable scoring. Campaign adds veteran playmaking. All right. The new player, Yabu, he's an elite backup big. Hart and McBride bring energy. This bench is no longer a question mark. Now it's a weapon. Now it's the terror squad again. So I'm hyped. A new era of Knicks basketball is right here with us. Jordan Clarkson's arrival is symbolic of our team evolving. We're no longer trying to hang in there. Setting up tempo. For years, Knicks fans have watched random bench guards torch us. Now we finally have one of our own. Clarkson won't just be a stat sheet filler. He'll be the difference between the Knicks being a good team that plays hard or a dominant team that wins with depth. Because the next time Peyton Pritchard or TJ McConnell starts cooking off the bench, the Knicks can just send out Clarkson and we outdo the outdo. That's the piece that I'm hyped about. That's the importance of the bench. And that's the patience of Knicks fans. Because when we got a Cat and when we got a McCall, we knew we couldn't do anything for the bench last summer. And then Neon Leon, did his job. He stuck to his plan. And that's one of the first things he addressed this summer. Bench work. That man is building a championship dynasty culture. What say you? Keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. But always remember this. Whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, here at Knicks Deli,
everybody eats.
I'm